Like, comment, subscribe, and let's do this.
Mars. Mars is the most
Oh,
habitable
right
planet
into
in the
it.
solar system, besides Earth. On a summer day near the equator, temperatures can reach a comfortable 68 degrees Fahrenheit. You could walk around, check things out, and honestly feel pretty okay. But the air is 95% carbon dioxide, so one breath without your helmet,
Damn.
and you'd be out in seconds. Radiation is 40 to 50 times higher than on Earth, enough to damage your DNA every hour you're outside. And even though it's freezing, the air pressure is so low that any crack in your suit would cause the liquids in your body to start boiling. Mars also has dust storms that can cover the entire planet for weeks. NASA's Opportunity rover was killed by one in 2018, its solar panels
Oh.
buried under dust until the power ran out. For a human relying on those same panels, that means no heating, and temperatures drop to minus 200 degrees Fahrenheit. Oxygen filters stop working too, so now you're in a freezing dark habitat, breathing air that's slowly getting worse, with the nearest help 7 months away. The moon. The
Seven
moon is
months away. That's insane. And we're investing so much money into like going to Mars. You'd think we'd invest money somewhere else. I get that going to Mars would be a like huge human achievement, but since going there is difficult itself, how are we going to live there? We struggled going there. I'm guessing making it habitable would be more difficult. Don't get me wrong. It's not like I wouldn't want to see us go there, but I don't know, man. I don't know.
Earth's
The
closest
moon.
neighbor, sitting about 240,000 miles away. There's no atmosphere, so temperatures swing from around 260 degrees Fahrenheit during the day to minus 280 at night. But the real threat on
Minus
the moon isn't the temperature,
280.
it's the dust. Billions of years of tiny space rocks smashing into the surface have ground it into a fine powder made of microscopic glass shards. Unlike sand on Earth, which gets worn smooth by wind and water, lunar dust has never been smoothed down. The particles are so small they can pass through most filters. It also sticks to everything it touches, including your suit, helmet, and gear. During the Apollo missions, just 3 days of moonwalks were enough to almost lock up the suit joints. And
What?
every time the astronauts came back inside, they brought the dust with them. They said it smelled like spent gunpowder. If you're breathing that in, it tears through your lung tissue like ground up broken glass,
Oh.
scarring it a little more with every breath. Over time, your lungs slowly lose the ability to take in oxygen. Saturn.
Damn.
Saturn is the second largest planet in the solar system.
I've never heard of that. That's a like sad way to go out if anybody ever died of that. Holy crap. That's a horror movie.
And before you even get close to it, you have to deal with its rings. They're made of billions of chunks of
Rocks.
ice and rock, some as small as a grain of dust,
Ice.
others the size of a house. These chunks move at up to 45,000 miles per hour, and any one of them hitting your
Woo,
ship would be enough
son.
to destroy it. If you make it past the rings, the planet itself isn't any safer. Saturn's atmosphere is mostly hydrogen and helium, with no solid surface underneath. At the top, temperatures drop to minus 418 degrees Fahrenheit. As you fall deeper,
Woo. You
winds pick up to
freeze.
around 1,100 miles per hour, roughly 5 times stronger than the most powerful hurricanes on Earth, enough to throw your spacecraft completely out of control. Below that, the pressure keeps building. The gases around you get thicker and thicker until they turn into liquid. Your ship and suit would be crushed long before you ever reach the core, where temperatures
That's
hit around
crazy.
21,000 degrees Fahrenheit. HD 189733b. HD 189733b is a gas giant about 64 light years from Earth, slightly larger than Jupiter. From a distance,
Looks
it looks bright blue,
beautiful.
almost exactly like our own planet. But that color has nothing to do with water. It comes from
Man.
tiny particles of glass floating in the atmosphere. The planet is
Whoa.
tidally locked, meaning one side always faces its star. On that side, temperatures reach around 1,700 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to
What?
turn rock into gas. As that gas rises and cools, it hardens into tiny glass shards that get caught in winds, blowing up to 5,400 miles per hour, about 7 times the speed of sound. So instead of rain falling down like on Earth, HD 189733b has glass flying at you sideways at over a mile per second. At
Brother.
those speeds, the shards would tear through your spacesuit and your body in seconds. These winds circle the entire
Yikes.
planet, so there's no calm spot to fly toward. And since it's a gas giant, there's no solid surface to land on either. The Oort cloud. The Oort cloud.
Bro, you'd be eviscerated if you tried to land on that. Raining glass sideways is insane. At those speeds, too. Even if you try to land where the glass is made on the other hot side, it's too hot, bro. So far, that sounds like the most nightmarish place. I wouldn't want to go there. I'd rather go, I don't know, die on Mars, bro. The Oort cloud.
Cloud is the farthest edge of our solar system, a huge shell of icy objects starting about 2,000 times farther from the sun than Earth. Out here, the sun looks like just another star. Temperatures sit close to minus 450 degrees Fahrenheit, just above absolute
Bruh,
zero, the coldest anything can possibly get. But
absolute
the real problem
zero.
isn't the cold, it's the emptiness. There are no planets, moons, or landmarks anywhere nearby. Just a few chunks of ice spread across trillions of miles of dark, silent space. Voyager 1, the
That's
farthest
cool
object
though.
humans have ever launched, has been traveling over 47 years and still hasn't reached it. At its current speed, it would take about 300 more years just to get to the inner edge. If your ship broke down out here, no one could get
What?
to you. No distress signal would arrive in time. You'd just be stuck with whatever food, water, and oxygen you had left, watching it all slowly run out. Nothing out here kills you fast. You'd most likely die of suffocation once the oxygen was gone. Enceladus. Enceladus is one of Saturn's moons. Only
Enceladus. But it makes me wonder, like, since technology is so much more advanced now, could we make something that could overtake whatever we have that's furthest away from the Earth right now? Could we make something that could pass that within a short time? Because I don't know if the tech that was used is a self-propelling one that's dependent on like just motion of the universe itself, or there's a it has engines on all that and people are controlling it. I'm going to guess like it's self-propelled by the universe itself. It's just on a course and we hope it gets there and it's not interrupted by anything. But I am curious. Enceladus.
about 314 miles across, small enough to fit inside the state of Texas. The
Oh,
surface is covered in ice at around minus 330 degrees Fahrenheit, and there's no real atmosphere, so your suit is the only thing keeping you alive. Saturn's gravity constantly pulls and squeezes this tiny moon, which causes cracks in the surface, especially near the
oh,
South Pole. Through those cracks, huge geysers blast ice and gas into space.
it's
The
always
gravity here
ice,
is so
bro.
weak that some of this stuff drifts far enough to become part of Saturn's rings. These geysers aren't just ice and water vapor, though. Scientists have found hydrogen cyanide in the mix, the same chemical used
Cyanide.
in poison gas. If one of those blasts hit you, the gas alone would kill you within a minute. And if it didn't, the wave of freezing material would lock your body in ice almost instantly. At that
Crazy.
point, the same weak gravity that sends geyser material into Saturn's rings could do the same to you. A supernova. A supernova is what happens when a massive star runs out of fuel and explodes. In just a few seconds, it can release more energy than our sun will produce in its entire 10 billion year lifetime. That energy comes
Oh,
out as a blast of radiation and high speed particles, with the gamma rays and X rays traveling at the speed of light. That's what makes it so dangerous. Because that radiation moves at the speed of light, there's no way to see it coming. By the time you could detect it, it's
it's
already
already
hitting you.
over.
Within a few light years of the explosion, it would break apart every atom in your body almost instantly. Nothing we
Damn.
know of is thick enough to block it. Even farther out, the damage is huge. Up to about 50 light years away, a supernova can destroy a planet's ozone layer and flood the surface with enough radiation to cause mass extinction. Some scientists think this
Oh,
actually happened on Earth about 450 million years ago,
holy
wiping out around
crap.
85% of all marine life. Titan. Titan is Saturn's largest moon and the
Bro,
only
but when a supernova happens, wouldn't it be easier to die there? Because it's instant. If I'm at the epicenter of the explosion and it happens. So far, I think I'd prefer being at the supernova. It's not really the worst. I'd even argue it's better than death on Earth. But do put that in the comments on what you guys think, because, hey, that's what I think.
Moon in the solar system with a thick atmosphere. It's bigger than Mercury, and in a lot of ways looks surprisingly like Earth. It has clouds,
Oil.
rain, rivers,
That's all I
lakes, and even
know.
shorelines, but none of it is water. The rain is liquid methane, and the lakes and rivers are filled with it too. The temperature sits at around minus 290
Oh,
degrees
gas.
Fahrenheit, which is cold enough to make methane behave the way water does here on Earth. The atmosphere is mostly nitrogen, similar to Earth's. The pressure is about 1.5 times what you'd feel at sea level, so you could walk around without a pressurized suit, but the cold would kill you in minutes without heavy thermal protection.
It's
Liquid
always
methane is also
ice.
about half the density of water, so if you fell into one of Titan's lakes, you wouldn't float. You'd sink straight down and freeze solid within seconds.
Oh,
And because of the thick orange haze in the atmosphere, you can't see the sun, Saturn, or anything above you from the surface. The sun. The
damn.
sun is a ball of plasma, about 864,000 miles across, over 100 times the diameter of Earth. There's no solid ground to stand on. What looks like a surface is just the very outside layer of plasma. Before you even got close, you
But come on, bro. Why would you want to go to the sun? Hey, if you go there, bro, it's all on you because what are you doing there? It's deserved, really. You think you could live there?
would have to pass through the corona, a layer of gas that reaches around 3.6 million degrees Fahrenheit, way
Damn,
hotter than the surface. NASA's Parker Solar Probe got within about 4
that's
million miles in
insane.
2024, the closest any spacecraft has ever been. The surface sits at around 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to boil pretty much anything, including diamond. The gravity is about
Diamond.
28 times stronger than Earth's, but the heat would kill you long before that mattered. Your spacesuit would start to char within a tenth of a millisecond. Within half a millisecond, boiling plasma would hit your body. By 10 milliseconds, your flesh, bones, and suit would all be turned to gas. Your nerves can't send
Eviscerated
pain
in
signals that fast,
milliseconds.
so you'd be gone before your brain knew something was wrong. Jupiter. Jupiter is the
Crazy.
largest planet in the solar system, about
Crazy.
89.
But by far, I'm ranking these. By far, that's better than anywhere. Wouldn't you want to go without even realizing, like, oh, it's over. It's over before then. That's the most humane. The sun.
9,000 miles across, over 11 times wider than Earth. It's a gas giant, so there's no solid surface, just layers of gas that get thicker as you go
And
down. But
storm.
before you even enter the atmosphere, the radiation is already a problem. Jupiter's
Oh,
magnetic field is about 20,000 times stronger than Earth's, trapping enough radiation to give you a deadly dose from 186,000 miles away. Your electronics would stop working, and your organs would start failing soon after. If you
damn.
somehow made it into the atmosphere, you'd hit winds up to 400 miles per hour
Yep.
strong enough to rip your ship apart, and lightning bolts wider than Earth that could fry
They
everything
have
inside it. The
lightning.
gravity is 2.4 times stronger, so you'd be falling fast with nothing to land on. NASA's Galileo probe made it about 87 miles in and lasted 58 minutes before the pressure and heat destroyed it.
Hey,
Below
that's
that,
not
the gas
bad.
slowly thickens into liquid and eventually into liquid metal. You'd be crushed and cooked long before reaching the core. A
Damn.
magnetar. A magnetar is a type of neutron star, the leftover core of a massive star that exploded. It's only about 12 miles across, but so dense that a single teaspoon of its material would weigh about 5.5 billion tons.
Whoa.
Its magnetic field is up to a quadrillion or 1,000 trillion times stronger than Earth's, making it the
Bro.
strongest magnetic force in the known universe. That kind of force changes the shape of your atoms.
Bro. A quadrillion. How much is that? How many zeros is that? Magnetar. Like, I'm into space and all that, but this is the first time I've ever heard of a magnetar. Damn. They sound like monsters.
From thousands of miles away, the field would already fry every piece of electronics on your ship.
That's
At about
crazy.
600 miles, it's strong enough to squeeze the normally round atoms in your body into long, thin, needle-like shapes. Once that happens, the bonds that hold your molecules together stop working. Everything in your body, from your DNA down to individual cells, falls apart at once, and nothing visibly touches you the entire time. There's no material that can block a magnetic field this strong. In 2004, a magnetar called SGR 180620 released a burst that stripped atoms apart in Earth's upper atmosphere from 50,000 light-years away.
Holy
Venus.
crap!
Venus is often called Earth's twin because of its similar size and gravity, but the surface is nothing like Earth's. The temperature sits at around 860 degrees Fahrenheit, hotter than Mercury, even though Venus is nearly twice as far from the Sun. That's because the atmosphere is 96% carbon dioxide, which traps heat so well that it doesn't matter whether you're on the day side or the night side. The air pressure is about 92 times
Just
what you'd
hot.
feel at sea level on Earth, the same as being about 3,000 feet underwater. The air is so thick that just moving through it would feel like pushing through a heavy liquid. That pressure would start crushing your suit almost instantly. At the same time, the heat would be cooking through it from the outside. And the clouds above you are made of sulfuric acid, which would eat through whatever was left.
Damn.
The Soviet Venera 13 probe was built to survive these conditions and lasted just 127 minutes. A human in a regular spacesuit wouldn't last a single breath. Io. Io is
That's
one of
so
Jupiter's
crazy.
moons, about the same size as
Those ones sound like hell. Venus. I don't know which planet is thought of like it used to be like Earth. Is it Venus or Mars? Somebody put that in the comments. But hey, Venus sounds like hell, bro. I wouldn't want to go there. Wouldn't. I wonder if anyone would want to go like lose their lives there.
Earth's moon. It's the most volcanically active place in the solar system, with
Io.
over 400 active volcanoes across its surface. Some of them erupt lava at around 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit, hotter than any volcano on modern Earth, and launch plumes over 300 miles into space. The lava is also loaded with sulfur compounds that would eat through a spacesuit on contact. The reason for all this activity is Jupiter. Its massive gravity constantly pulls and stretches Io, warping the surface by as much as 330 feet with every 42-hour orbit. That's enough to crack the ground open beneath your feet without warning. Some of the lava lakes are over 100 miles wide.
That's
On top
insane.
Of
I
that, Io
never
sits
knew that.
inside Jupiter's radiation belts, which deliver about 5 times the lethal radiation dose for a human every 24 hours. So even if
Damn.
the volcanoes didn't get you and the ground didn't split open beneath you, the radiation would. There's no atmosphere to protect you from any of it. Europa. Europa is one
Europa.
of Jupiter's moons, about the size of Earth's moon. The surface is a shell of ice roughly 10 to 15 miles thick, covered in cracks from the constant pull of Jupiter's gravity. Underneath that ice is a liquid saltwater ocean that could be up to 60 miles deep. The surface temperature sits at around minus 260 degrees Fahrenheit. If one of those cracks opened beneath you and you fell through, you'd drop into a pitch-black ocean with no way to tell which direction is up. The water is near freezing, and the ice above you is miles thick, so no radio signal could get through. No one on the surface could reach you, and no technology exists that could drill through that much ice fast enough to help. In water that cold, you'd stay conscious for a
Damn.
few minutes before drowning. Your body would never be recovered. Scientists also believe this ocean could support life, meaning a human body down there could contaminate the only other ocean in the solar system that might have something living in it. A black
Oh.
hole. A black hole is what's left behind when a
I wanted to ask, like, which planet has the ice that's called Ice 7? Is it Europa? I'm wondering now. But Europa doesn't sound so bad. Yeah, it doesn't sound so bad.
massive star collapses in on itself. Its gravity is so strong that nothing can escape it, not even light. The point where escape becomes impossible is called the event horizon.
event
What kills
horizon.
you is the difference in gravity between one end of your body and the other. As you get closer, the pull on your feet becomes so much stronger than the pull on your head that your body starts to stretch. Scientists call this spaghettification. The force would pull your spine apart and tear through your muscles until your body snapped at the midsection. Then each half would
Damn.
snap again and again until you were stretched into a thin stream of atoms spiraling into the center. For a distant observer watching you fall, something strange would happen. Your image would appear to slow down near the event horizon, eventually seeming to freeze there. Over time, your light would shift from visible to infrared to radio waves, slowly fading but never fully disappearing.
That's insane.
If you'd like to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe and
That's crazy, but if I were to pick, like, if they were like, Hey, pick where you wanna die. On this list, I'd either choose a supernova or the sun because I want it to be over instantly. Because ain't no way I'm going to pick like Io or Venus. What I've realized is out there is just acid, ice, water. Who wants to deal with that, bro? But anyway, I really enjoyed this video. If you want me to react to similar videos to this one, put the links to the videos in the comments and I'll get to those videos and react to them. And on that note, thank you for watching and I'll catch you on the next one.